I'm so glad to be back with you. We did the masterclass last week. I hope you guys came for that. A lot of you did. A lot of you showed up. I know we had some technical difficulties, but I think it was fun. I'm here today to talk to you about quiet, disorganized attachment style. You probably saw the video that went out recently on my channel, just a day or two ago, about quiet, disorganized attachment, how it is sabotaging so many relationships. I focus a lot on quiet, disorganized attachment in women because though the large part of you, most of you are female here on this channel, a lot of guys too, that's fine. But quiet, disorganized attachment style hits many people. It does hit men and women both. So I want to talk to you today about what it looks like to have quiet, disorganized attachment style, how you might be surprised to know that this is you, and some things that you need to really carefully consider in your relationships, because I see this eat away at a lot of people. Now, quiet, disorganized style, it does a few things in your life. Let's go through a checklist and see if any of these match for you. Number one, do you find that you have some of the most emotionally dramatic, chaotic, hurtful partners? This might not mean that they're all evil, right? Some people with quiet, disorganized style do eventually find a healthy partner, but do you tend to be scooped up by people who are very emotionally dramatic and demanding, and you simply fall into line? Does that ever happen to you? Do most of your partners tend to be chaotic and hurtful? Number two, do you find that you are very monogamous and loyal to these people? Do you find that you're not probably one to run around and try to have affairs behind their back, sabotage, sleep with anyone? You're probably the last person doing any of that. And you probably just buckle in and say, okay, you chose me, now here I am, I'm going to fall in line, and I'm going to do what you tell me to do. And you deal with their bad behaviors. You probably, if someone looked at you, they'd probably call you codependent, because you're just likely to sweep up, clean up any consequences they have from their bad behavior, because that's just what you do. You've been programmed into this from childhood. You do these things, you take care of other people, and you handle their messes for them, because that's just what you do. Is that something you deal with? Okay, number two. Number three, do you have a freeze response? Right? Everybody's got limbic system. Fight, flight, fawn, freeze. Fight, right? I don't like what's happening. I'm going to push back pretty hard, right? I'm going to not let this happen. Two, flight. I don't like what's happening. I'm going to step back. I'm going to withdraw. I'm going to pull away. I'm going to get space. I might actually run and leave. I might run away from the relationship. I'm going to duck out of conversations, but instead of going at you. Most people will fly first if they have room to escape. Some people fight first. Usually loud, disorganized, or very manipulative avoidant will fight aggressively first, or people who can't get out will fight. Okay, flight is usually the most instinct most people have. Quiet, disorganized will usually flee from less intimate relationships. But in childhood, quiet, disorganized people couldn't run away from their caregivers. Their caregiver was the source of danger, but they couldn't run away from them. They actually had to run toward them to get help, but couldn't because it never worked. So it was simultaneous push, pull, push, pull, push, pull. So flight doesn't really work in intimate relationships. Now, fawning, number three, is what happens when you can't run away and you can't fight. Fawning is, okay, I'm going to make you happy. I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to please you. I'm going to do everything for you. I'm going to caretake you, give you everything you ask for, completely just please you. Fawning, fawning, fawning. F-A-W-N. By the way, F-A-W-N, fawn. I'm going to fawn and please you. Okay, quiet, disorganized, really intense fawning behaviors. Okay, anxious attachment does fawning. That's their default. That's how they feel safe. And if fawning doesn't work, then they flip to like fighting. Usually is what an anxious person will do. A quiet, disorganized person fawns and fight is gone. Fight for a quiet, disorganized person, usually gone. And you can't flee either. So fight and flight, gone in a close, intimate relationship. You get in with really dramatic, chaotic, hurtful partners who are turbulent and wildly emotional. And you try to fawn and please them all the time. And you have a lot of anxious attachment behaviors. But without the anxious attachment, I will die if someone leaves me, because you are self-sufficient. And without usually as much self-loathing, there's some self-loathing, but not as much as a typical anxious person, because you are avoidant and anxious at the same time. Okay? Fawning, fawning, fawning. And when that doesn't work, they try to fawn harder. And if that doesn't work, their brain just goes, zip, I can't handle the stress anymore. We're going to freeze. Freeze response. Their face actually doesn't even look scared. Their face is flat. flat affect. Because in childhood, they were taught if you have intense emotions that your caregiver doesn't like, you will get even more punished. So their face doesn't go, they don't look scared, they go, and their flat affect looks disinterested. It looks like you don't care. It looks like you don't care at all what's happening. You've lost interest, you're checked out, you're gone. And the message that's if you're sending messages to the other person accidentally, I don't care about you, I'm not interested, I don't want to learn, I don't want to hear this. If you're with healthier people, they get hurt by that and they actually will misunderstand and pull back because it looks like you've gone to a place where you no longer care. But what's happened is inside you're freaking out, losing your mind because you are so scared. Your brain locks down and says, if I do anything, it'll make it worse. Right? In childhood, I tried to please my parents, my caregivers. It made it worse. Nothing worked. Everything got worse. I have simultaneously push, pull. I go toward, but also run away from. I can't fight. I can't please you. The brain just overloads and locks down. Broca's area, the speech center of the brain, actually turns off. At this point, diminishes and then goes off. So selective mutism is really common. Stuttering, not being able to articulate. Even if you've got 3 doctorates, all of a sudden you're speaking like a toddler. You can barely even speak, or even not even that, just gone. Okay, very common for that freeze response. It doesn't always look like an actual freeze. It can look like just, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. What we call a vagal dorsal shutdown. Your vagus nerve just click, locks in and just shuts down everything, and everything in your system just goes down. It can look like checking out and staring at the floor. It can look like just staring at the person. It can look just like crying and just like this, and you get a headache, like that complete freeze lockup mode. Okay, that's that lock. That's that freeze response. Highly indicative of disorganized style, intimately tied in with trauma. So anyone in chat having that, let me know. Give me a me. Give me a that. Yeah, I see. Okay, there you go. Right, that's that. Okay, if this is you, that's number 3. Number 4, if you are completely mystified by social interactions, you have no idea what people want from you, you have no idea what you're supposed to say, you have no idea how many questions you're allowed to ask, you have no idea what's rude, you have no idea what's not rude. A lot of times when I get clients who come in with quiet, disorganized attachment style, they have many, almost features of autistic tendencies, but they don't really have a lot of the other characteristics of autistic behaviors that would be more diagnosed. They don't usually have a diagnosis of it. It could be that they have some autistic features, but usually as we uncover the pieces, they grew up in an environment that was so uniquely destructive and harmful that the only skills they learned was survival among sociopaths. So they just never even encountered loving, intimate, caring, peaceful, relaxed, curious, those levels of interaction. So they've never formed a guideline socially for how to behave. Now, as I manually train them into the skill sets, they pick them up really fast and very intuitively and begin generalizing them in a way that we usually don't see with autistic features. Not everybody, at least, not most. So I don't know that it's I wouldn't call it this is not simply autism for women. I wouldn't call it that. But what it is a deeply unaligned skill set to a healthy relationship where you are fully aligned into how can I appease sociopaths who don't care and want to hurt me. That's what this process is, okay? So when a woman with quiet, disorganized style comes in, this is what we look for is massive, unintuitive skill gaps in communication. I just don't know. So that's point number 4. If you've gone through this so far and you've checked off 1, 2, 3, 4, right? You're checking off those boxes. Odds are very good that you've had this style and that it has sabotaged you. Not in the same way that an avoidant style makes you run away or break up relationships. Not in the same obvious way as an anxious attachment makes you dive in and be scared and anxious all the time. But much more subtly on the inside in ways that no one else will ever really perceive. And that you probably haven't given a name to because you don't know any different. You probably think that 8 out of 10 stress level every single day is normal. You probably think that redlining your nervous system every time you're around your partner is just typical. You probably think that doing everything just to please them and getting 0 in return is normal. You think that this is average. I remember one woman came to me and said, Adam, why do I keep chasing romantic relationships? I get nothing out of them. What is the point? I've never got anything pleasurable from any of them. Why do people even do this? Why do we even have this desire? I had to manually train her on what she's supposed to be getting in a romantic relationship, how fulfilling it's supposed to be with a loving partner. And by the way, I trained her in and said, don't ever settle for less than this. Ever. Never, never, never. And she was blown away by the concept that she could have love, intimacy, safety, fulfillment, real peace in her heart, that a partner would add to her life, that a partner would care for her and nurture her in those ways so that her life would get better in other areas, that a partner would actually make her life improve. She was blown away. She was in her 60s, by the way. So that's really what we're looking for here is, what do you not know? Where are you optimized to live among sociopaths and be mistreated by them and somehow scrape out a living? Where are you expecting sociopathic tendencies from others without demonizing them? Quite disorganized people don't usually demonize others, but they treat everyone like a potential sociopath, and they appease them endlessly like you're trapped in a room with a serial killer. And then when they get into relationships, the bar is not only on the ground, the bar is buried 10 feet underground. Okay? So like, well, he didn't pick a hair out of my head and floss his teeth with it at the first date. That's a pretty good sign. Right? Like that's the dating criteria. Right? Well, he told me that he's my boyfriend now, so I guess I have no choice. I will just, start doing the checklist. This is the process. Okay? This is the process. So, none of this is to force you into a sort of life you don't want. But I'm going to be clear, you've been forced into the sort of life that you don't want all along. What we need to start doing is redefining what life should be for you. And for that to even happen, most quiet, disorganized women and men don't even know what their options are. So their options are live in a hellish, nightmarish experience where sociopathic people mistreat me, or be utterly and completely alone in a cabin in the woods with hedgehogs as my only friends. Those are like their two options. And women are like, all right, hedgehog cabin it is. That sounds pretty good, right? No, nothing against hedgehogs or cabins, right? But understanding that your options are healthy, warm, intimate, structured, stable, safe, fulfilling, peaceful relationships with a good partner who actually respects you, who actually values you as a human being, who respects your human dignity, a partner that uses secure communication with you, who asks you clearly for things, who understands your freeze response, says, hey, take some time, not a problem, take a moment, think it through. If you need to come back later, fine. If you're better at writing, I'm going to give you the information, you text me later, right? Whatever's going to work for us where we can communicate effectively. But let's be calm. Let's do this together. Understanding that that's the only partner you should work with. And anything short of that is settling for unreasonable unkindness. That's the process, okay? Understanding your options. Understanding the skills that you've missed trying to get to those options so that you can even build that. Crafting new experiences with people that begin remapping your brain pathways from always be in terror and automatically assume everyone's a sociopath so there's no hope, to filter other people into sociopath camp and healthy, tolerable camp. Like at least that division. If we can give you shades in between there of this person's level 0, this person's level 1, 2, 3, 4, that's a good one. The 4 levels of trust, like sorting people into those levels of who to trust and who not to trust, and only investing in this group of people, the healthier ones that can actually love you in return, right? Being able to filter those people instead of one big bucket of hopeless sociopaths that you have no hope with. Right? Being able to do that, and then being able to craft experiences with the secure people that give you the brain chemistry that you need. Most quiet, disorganized people have not experienced oxytocin bonding, right? They don't know that fulfillment. They don't know that that warm, wonderful, incredible feeling. They have low serotonin usually, very much. No vasopressin, or to speak of for bonding purposes. They have no real bonding, no biochemical bonding. Their nervous system is screaming all the time, always saying, we're doomed, we're doomed, we're doomed. Nothing's ever going to get better. Right? And they think that's normal. And then they experience all these medical difficulties, all these problems because their nervous system is overclocked constantly. So, understanding that this right here is quiet disorganized style, that if you have this, it's not a death sentence. This is something that is fixable. It's just that you were trained to live this way. You can choose to live this way. Okay, this was imprinted on you. This is intentional living. Even understanding that you have an option for intentional living and change is overwhelmingly different. I got an email just the other day from a quiet, disorganized female client. Shout out to you. You know who you are. I won't say your name. I protect privacy really firm, but I got a beautiful update the other day about how they're doing now that they've graduated from coaching with me. I love those emails. I'm thriving. I had lunch with my friend. I'm growing. Things are getting so much better. I just understood this about myself. Here's a new awareness I just got. Here's this cool thing I just realized. Here's this new experience I had. Thank you, Adam. Like, I'm living my life. I get those emails and I am just so pumped that those people are really living. Finally. Some of them finally, after a lifetime of tour of duty in brutal relationships that mistreated them. Now, after their tours of duty are done, really living for the first time. That's why I do this. So there is so much hope. Okay? There is so much immense hope. I don't want anyone dealing with this to feel like there isn't hope, because there is so much hope. Okay? You need awareness of what your options are, that you're only living with one narrow option that was imprinted on you. It's not even what you've chosen. Then growing understanding of the skills you were never given, and the reason you've never had better experiences is because you didn't have the skills to craft or go through those experiences. Then understanding how to craft new experiences to change your brain chemistry, and how to filter other people appropriately for the few that are really worthy of your trust. And then building forward and stacking win after win after win, so that your brain, your nervous system, your whole being changes into the person that you've always wanted to be, and you're finally fully at rest in your life and in your world and in your relationships. And then your relationships serve you, instead of feeling like you are endlessly forced to serve people that don't even respect you, don't even like you. This is the difference, okay? If you're feeling this, 100%, I'm here with you. Make sure you please watch the Quiet Disorganized videos here on my YouTube channel. Again, I just launched one a day or two ago with the same title of this live stream, the hidden attachment style that's quietly impacting women like you. I know I really focus on women with quiet disorganized. There are a lot of men with quiet disorganized too. They're out there too, but a lot of women here on this channel in particular. So I'm speaking to your presence and your existence in that regard. If you're guys out there that want this information, drop a comment. Let me know, hey Adam, I'm quiet disorganized man. I want info. If I start seeing that come in, I can start talking to some of that stuff too. It's just, I try to teach to the biggest groups of people that want it now. And that's why, anyway, if you guys ever wonder why I teach in the ways that I do. So there's that. Please check out those Quiet Disorganized videos. There is so much information I've poured into there. You're gonna have a very hard time finding it anywhere else, because I'm the one who found this. After 70 years of attachment theory out in the wild, as I was updating this is what I kept seeing. This group has been fully invisible to the psychology community, fully invisible most places. We've talked about this level once in a while. When we encounter them, we consider them very shy. There's a few stories out there of very shy women who can't talk, and usually they're the butt of the joke for their social anxiety about how she's frozen and can't speak. You know, some of these media things you've seen online, but it's not really funny living in it, to be honest with you. This is something that is new, that we are just discovering, but it's not really new because it's been with us all along. This is an extensive trauma process. Please go watch the Quiet Disorganized video I just posted a couple days ago. There is so much information there. I really want you to understand it. If you need help, you need steps forward, you need any additional resources, you need help signing up for my free newsletter, anything, you're welcome to reach out to me and the team at support@adamlanesmith.com. Support@adamlanesmith.com. That is the big inbox where your stuff comes in. We start helping, we start talking. Again, I have a free newsletter we can help you get signed up for. I have free attachment styles quiz where you can find your attachment style. I have a free blog that you guys can be looking at, right? I have posts every single day going out on Instagram. I have the video guides here on this channel. If you need help, we're here. Support@adamlanesmith.com. But again, first stop, this YouTube channel, you're here. Go check out the Quiet Disorganized video I just posted a couple days ago. It's called The Hidden Attachment Style That's Impacting Women Like You. Check out that video, leave some comments, drop some questions. We are here to help. I just want you to know more than anything, if you take nothing else from this video, if this has resonated with you, this is fixable. This is so fixable. And I don't mean like a 20% improvement. I mean life-changing forever so that you can stop being in pain and start living the life you've always wanted with deep, intimate friends, a stable partner who cares about you, and that freeze response diminished till it's gone. How good does that sound? This is what I do. This is why I do what I do, because I want you to really live. So take care of yourselves. I will be back tomorrow. Same time, same place. Drop me your questions. Please check out that video now. I poured myself into that video. Go watch it, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.